with the third case of the first Ace Attorney Investigations game. And it's been a little while since we played. We had one hurricane, now we have another coming up, and life's weird like that. What do you think, babe?
Why did you sit down and be able to play?
Exactly. And now, apparently, this girl is the deceased?
Is your Lance's girlfriend, I think, right?
Yeah, Lance's girlfriend. Okay. Oh, it's not like that. We're more like friends, and we're not lovers or anything. We haven't gotten that far yet.
She's got an injury.
But I guess that's how people are going to see it, so I should just accept it. Yeah, she does. Even got this ring as a present from Lance. Haha, you know what she reminds me of? A cartoon character.
Is her...
Yeah. Edgeworth's thinking, she agrees you with that. What? May I inquire as to why you are here? I haven't been able to get in contact with Lance lately, and I began to get really worried. I looked everywhere for him, and then I heard about the kidnapping, so I came here. Wow, you're really strong for having made it through all this by yourself. Is it true? Has Lance really been kidnapped? No one is supposed to know, but yes, it's true. Oh, Lance. I can't believe you've been spirited away. I wonder how you're doing right now. Looks like she's gone back to the fair maiden in love routine. So, Mr. Edgeworth, where do we go from here? Oh, we found a body, so we should look into the murder. My men brought me up to speed over the radio, and I have to say, you really should have called. I heard you found something very intriguing. I have nothing to hide, Agent Lang. It's exactly what you see before you. I'll take it from here. Yeah, that guy's really dead. Hey, you waiting for an invitation? Hurry up and detain the suspect now. Suspect? Who? Officer Meekins, is it? You're coming with us. What? Sir, I had nothing to do with it, sir. Agent Lang, don't you think you're being a bit rash? Do you even have a good reason to suspect Officer Meekins? Ha, I'll leave that kind of stuff to you prosecutors. It's your job after all. Like I said earlier, the crime scene isn't as forgiving as your precious courtroom. That's your answer. I know you like your logic and reasoning, but that sort of impractical fluff is not needed out here in the field. All you have to do is arrest suspicious person after suspicious person. That's how you eliminate crime from the streets.
Looks like illegal.
Yeah. That's also precisely how you unnecessarily arrest innocent people by mistake.
You could also call that kidnapping.
Yeah. Innocent people? Nonsense! What? There's no such thing as an innocent person. We've all got a blemish or two in our hearts. It's tyranny. I won't allow such a thing to go on unchecked before my eyes. Heh, too bad you don't call the shots around here. As I have sworn to uphold the laws of this land, I cannot allow you to take this man in. That you would arrest a man on false charges without even conducting an investigation? Have you no honor as a member of law enforcement? You, how dare you speak so disrespectfully to our shaifu? Hold it! Ha 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 ha. You amuse me, Mr. Prosecutor. Lang Z says, every pack has its own rules. If you can play by their rules and come out on top, that is a true victory. Alright, I'll give your beloved laws a fair shake. I'll show you just how much investigating I've done. Through my line of logic.
Just like Sherlock Holmes is.
I guess? I mean, I don't think he's anything like Sherlock Holmes, but I've seen a lot of bodies like this one being carted off in my time. I can say he was shot in a single glance, but even you figured that much out, right? With your current gun laws, it's not exactly easy to get your hands on a gun. Not unless you're a member of law enforcement like Officer Meekins, isn't that right?
Are we sure he shot him?
We took a cursory glance and thought he was, but we haven't conducted a full autopsy to know. Solid as a rock. It's based on the philosophy of detainment. What's this philosophy of detainment? Ha, you don't know? In that case, pay attention, girlie. In my country, the criminals have a saying, beware of the wolf. Why the wolf? Because in my language, lang means wolf, and you don't mess with me or my pack. And as for the detainment philosophy, its father is my honorable ancestor Lang Zi, or Lang Zai. You'd think I'd heard of him and his teachings if he's that famous. Lang Zai developed it as he worked to lock criminals away thousands of years ago. To this day, the Zhangfa police still train its recruits using his philosophies. But thousands of years ago, that makes your story about as believable as a fairy tale. Huh. Anything wears down and breaks over time. Do you really believe something as ancient as that can be applied to today's world? You want to put it to a test? It's not the worst logic ever. Well, he had a gun and he was standing there. Let's see. So, I want to press the very last thing he said.
Hold it!
If that's the case, there are plenty of other officers who might be potential suspects. You're not seriously going to arrest each and every one of them, are you? As if I would need to. I've already looked into everyone else here. Oh? Other than Officer Meekins, I know no one else's weapon has been fired. How did you check every single person's weapon in such a short span of time? That's because each and every one of my subordinates is extremely capable. It didn't take more than a few minutes to conduct the entire investigation. The power of sheer numbers. But you have yet to check Officer Meekins' weapon, correct? Thanks for reminding me. Hey you, show me your gun. Oh dear. Oh! What's wrong? Why does he look so sickly pale all of a sudden? Gun! What did you say? I can't hear you. Stop mumbling and spit it out already. Sir? Sir? I lost my gun, sir! How could you be so irresponsible? Ha 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 ha. In the end, it looks like you're still the only suspect we've got. You're the one who waited here outside the garage to ambush and kill the victim. So you think that Officer Meekins waited here to kill the victim, do you,
He
Len?
voted to kill the butler. Because he's like the butler, right?
Yeah. It's now this... This has been added.
Hold it!
You mean to tell me that the murder occurred here in this garage? From the fact that the suspect was found almost next to where the body was, I'd say that it's pretty obvious that this is the crime scene. Lang Zai says a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. Hey, finally a code even I've heard of before. Furthermore, Lang Zai says... Successful investigations are the result of multiple returns to a crime scene. Looks like neither detectives nor criminals have changed their ways over the millenniums. So this is the kind of conclusion the philosophy of the taming can lead you to. I don't get it, Mr. Edgeworth. Why are you putting yourself on the line for Mr. Meekins? It's not that I particularly care about what happens to Officer Meekins. What? Oh dear. However, I can't simply stand by while Agent Lang ignores our country's laws. Shi-Long Lang. Just what sort of investigator are you?
Hold it!
So what can you tell me about the body? A lot, even without an autopsy. I have my ways. They teach you the basics of forensics along with the detention philosophy. Oh, then you wouldn't mind telling me a little of what you figured out, correct?
Hold it!
Yes, I think anyone who saw the bullet wounds would come to the same conclusion. Don't pat yourself on the back yet. What's that supposed to mean? Lang Zai says, search where the water is deepest. You have to keep your eyes on the big fish that lurks in the depths, which is the killer. Is that right? And what would you know about the killer?
Hold it!
It would appear you've studied a little of our laws. Studied? Who needs to study what every child on every street corner already knows? It's that Shih-na! The Federal Firearms Restriction Act. That's it, the Federal Firearms Restriction Act. I hear it's not easy to get a gun these days. Interesting, that woman is the one in charge of keeping track of the information.
Wouldn't the lawless be able to get a gun?
Possibly
They
stuff.
would be on a good market for them.
Yeah, there's very little blood at the site.
It's a super gunshot wound, but the blood is not there.
Yeah, so I think this is it.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Agent Lang, that is simply not possible. What do you mean? You've seen the crime scene for yourself, and while you were looking, did you not think to yourself that it was a little too clean? So you did notice that there was too little blood. Do you still wish to claim that Officer Meekins committed the murder here? Because this isn't a crime scene, and if it was your men who led you to think it was, then I suggest you leave this case to the local police to set the record straight. Ha 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 ha. Not bad. I see your logic can be just as sound as mine. In that case, let me ask you this. Don't you think it's weird that Officer was hanging out here in the first place?
No, because he's impersonating that thing.
Yeah. Weird, how so? Hey you, your squad's not even supposed to be in this area, right? What were you doing neglecting your duties and loafing around here? Don't you dare give me some lame excuse like I find myself taking a walk. But sir, I really did take a walk, sir. You're a disgrace. How dare you take your pack obligation so lightly? Officer Meekins looks extra meek. Is he hiding something? Mr. Edgeworth, please, sir. Save me the way you did earlier, please, sir. Officer Meekins, please give us a detailed account of what happened. Sir, not you too, sir. But he was a little, yeah, those eyes of his during that. You know, he was a little cagey last time we played about some details. I wonder why.
But it was just him, like, messing up, and he wants to know that he... Was it perfect?
Yeah, like, it's probably something silly like that, because this guy's not confident in himself. It's true, sir. I wasn't assigned to this area, sir. I was told to check every square inch of the main gate area, sir. I also went looking for the kidnappers while selling dreams in the blue Badgermobile, sir. But I got completely caught up in my role, selling dreams to the children, sir. Before I knew it, I found myself here in this area, sir. I'm sorry, but that last line cracks me up. I got caught up in the role? What is the blue Badgermobile? That's a moving store on wheels that sells sweet dreams and merchandise, sir.
That's parking garage.
Yeah.
The pink one's missing, which is where the dead body is.
Yeah. The blue Badgermobile is just a roaming souvenir shop. Sir, I swear I was chasing the kidnappers down while I was being a good dream merchant. He seems rather worked up, even more than his usual hyperactive self. He sure seems sure of what he's saying. Can you try to calm down and lower your voice to a more reasonable level, officer? Sir! Roger, sir.
Hold it!
Describe for me how you conducted your investigation. Yes, sir. Well, first, I made sure there were no suspicious-looking people in the area, sir. But the only people that seemed to gather around me were little girls, sir. Well, what did you expect when you're dressed like the Blue Badger? I thought I had no choice at that point, sir, so...
Hold it!
What exactly do you mean by selling dreams? Sir, the Blue Badgermobile is where dreams are collected. What? Sweetness like you've never known except in dreams, ma'am, like innocence drops. And bitterness found only in nightmares, ma'am, like guilty jawbreakers. Selling those as I push the Blue Badgermobile along is my sworn duty, ma'am!
Hold it!
You completely forgot to look for the kidnappers. No, sir, of course not, sir! I would never do something like that, sir! You're absolutely right! Wow, you're good at this forcing people to confess thing, Mr. Edgeworth. To be frank, I'm just a little man, sir. I'm better at selling kids a few small dreams than looking for a big cook, sir. Enough wallowing in your own self-pity. Let's return to your testimony. Yes, sir.
Hold it!
How did you wind up all the way over here? I was in the middle of a sea of kids, sir. But one of the kids decided to challenge me to a fight, sir. I had to run away from the child's painful drop kicks, and before I knew it... Aha, the good old drop kick. I dished out my fair share of those when I was a kid. It was always the best when you felt one really connect with your opponent. In any case, you wound up here for a reason completely unrelated to the investigation. Sir! That's right, sir. That's not something you should be admitting to with your head held high, officer. Sounds like he simply forgot about his real job and became the Blue Badger. However, there is one flaw in Officer Meekin's story, but I have the feeling that he'll need some prodding before he'll spill the beans. Okay, so let's do the first one.
Hold it!
Alright then, where were you assigned to? I was assigned to the main gate, sir! It must mean the area with the bridge and the outrageous fountain. Okay, then why are you here in the Wild Wild West area? That's because of a very deep reason, ma'am. Okay. So let me see what we have.
And the Blue Badger's parked. No. It's parked in the garage, so...
Right. So he had to have parked in there, then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Proto-Badger is freaking me out.
He's the one that was in the hall.
Yeah. And that was scarier, like, it would have been... I mean, it would have been a little creepy if it was any of the others, but that one with the black eyes... Eesh. So he's supposed to be at the main gate. Then he ended up in the Wild Wild West.
Hold it!
So it's press again, so... Kids were gathered around.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
Let me press him one more time on there. Did you wind up here? Well, he's saying he ran away, but the Badgermobile is parked, so maybe that's what we need to prevent.
You can take a picture of the body and you show the car inside?
Well, I think before I know it, I found myself here. So... I think it's the Badgermobile. I might be wrong. But I think it's because, like, how did he drive through a sea of kids with that? Nope. Let me see what Edgeworth says after this again. Oh, wait. I didn't have to actually... It sounds like he simply forgot about his real job. However, there is one flaw in Officer Meekin's story, but I have the feeling that he'll need some prodding before he'll spill the beans. Let me see. I'm kind of curious where you drive that thing.
Yeah, because it seems like you only go in a big circle.
Yeah. Could be way.
Objection!
Unnatural spot in his testimony. So we definitely have to present evidence. So let me, So he says it's a natural part. So what could be unnatural? That he was assigned to the main gate area? That he went looking for the kidnappers while selling dreams in the Blue Badger-mobile? Or he got completely caught up in his role, selling dreams to the children, or somehow he ended up there.
If he's selling dreams to the children out of the box, he should be here because this is where the cars are.
Yeah, like I don't really get that. Wait, let's see.
What is there to check at the main gate?
For people?
I know, but like, if you make it to the main gate, you can just get out.
I think just the general area, I would assume. Like, check everywhere around the main gate, see if there's anybody. Because I'm assuming that's where they would try to escape to. Nice looking park. Okay. Well, if it was parked in the Wawa West area, then how could he be using it? And it did give us this as a new one, so maybe it's as simple as that?
Yes.
Yes! Okay. Officer Meekins, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell such transparent lies. Sir, I'm lying, sir? Yes, you are. If you were really out there selling dreams with a Blue Badger-mobile until recently, then what is it doing inside the garage? Ah! Actually, I just lost track, sir. Lost track of what? By the time I realized that the Blue Badger-mobile was nowhere to be found, sir. Which would mean it was perhaps stolen? And that's when I came back to this area, thinking maybe it was in the garage, sir. But that's when you found me, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. A likely story. Who do you think is going to buy such a convenient tale as that? And what exactly is so convenient about a story? The car getting stolen. It's completely unbelievable, even for a cover story. But I think we can assume the car was used already. To move the dead body. What? You killed the victim at some distant location, Officer Meekins. And then you used the Blue Badger-mobile to transport it all the way here. Now then, you're coming with me. But it wasn't me! Sir! The killer, sir! It wasn't me, sir! Agent Lang, wait. What do you want now? We still don't know where the real scene of the crime is. You can't say we know all the facts of this case, let alone the truth. I told you, truth, schmooth, I couldn't care less. Our job is to catch the crook. You'll find out your precious truth after we arrest this guy and take him in. That's the job of you prosecutors and your fancy courts with your logic. As for us, we don't have this kind of time to waste. You boorish buffoon. I think you need to leave. What? We need to get the body to autopsy and you guys are getting in the way. You would interfere with another one of my investigations. Hey now, let's not forget who holds the actual authority to conduct investigations here. I'm afraid the one doing the interrupting is you, my ignorant little pretty boy. He's like, hey, Old bag thinks I'm hot.
Yeah, and I don't have fancy hair and teeth and dragons up my pants.
Yeah, seriously. Now be a good fancy boy and get out of my sight. If you don't, I'll arrest you for obstruction of justice. How did this guy get into any position of anything?
I don't know. Maybe they do things for any.
Yeah.
I mean, his assistant looks like a hooker.
Yo.
She does.
Gaywater Land main gate. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? You really shouldn't steal anything. However, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with it ever. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands. When I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, I'm going to work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go. I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium. Hurry, sir. This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. A witness? You! What did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? The jig is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir. Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet the witness. Oh, there's the pink Badgermobile.
Mm-hmm. But he's dead in her flat stall.
Yeah. I thought there was a witness here. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth? Is that Emma? Long time no see. You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. Oh, so she's still, like, young. Like, I don't think she...
The teenager, like this was in between or something?
Yeah. Like, this happened before Apollo Justice, the fourth game. Okay. Can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Yeah, she became a little less in good spirits when she grew up, but still okay. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. Yeah, like this double fist pose, what she did in the first game. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. See. I assume this is another Badgermobile? Yeah, but it's a different color than the blue Badger car. Yes, this is the retina-searing pink model. Retina-searing? Okay, let's talk to her first. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in the past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday, you'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Skye. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist, and you must be the new teenage girl sidekick. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm trained to become an unstoppable great thief. Great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. So why are you here, Emma? Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And now I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I had really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I had just missed you. And how exactly did you know I was here? Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. I've always seen her go into, stuff like that, like electronics, but I've never seen it reflect on her glasses. Then again, I don't think she wears the glasses in the other games like that. I use these to track your footprints and I follow them straight to you? This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing! The footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about? Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said. What was that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking. So let me guess, there's been a murder, right? Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go? And what's that off in the distance? The witness? Oh, hey, it's the Pink Badger. Badger, yeah, Badger get? Well, we've only seen one, right?
But only one at a time can be out.
Really?
Yeah, because...
I thought it was, there's only one of each of the 4 family members wandering. That to me means all of them are somewhere.
I see. I understand.
Badger get! Badger, 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 Badger. Just what does she see in these silly things? I think this Badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak Badger dance. Oh my god! I can't take being inside that stuffy head anymore. You're... No! Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief. Edgy Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really. I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. But you couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm just gonna be direct. I had a bad feeling before. This just made it more efficient. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger. You could say that. But right now, I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie. She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman. My name is Wendy Oldbag. But you can call me Wendy, or Granny, or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met? I go where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are, talking with 2 young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't matter how old they get. With young girls, just the other day, it happened to notice me. He went into Lorraine's marriage, 18-year-old. What he sees in her takes performance that... You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, please, I'm begging you, by all means, do not provoke her any further. Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today. I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true, she is the witness. Oh, I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag. Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder. You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. Wow, those are shifty eyes. Just want to respond to this. Somebody asked if they should put shutters up. Okay. I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw 2 men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
And notice she said 2 men. She didn't say another badger.
Right.
Because it should be obvious if someone's in a badger suit.
Exactly. So, two men. Okay. Can't afford to ignore what she has to say, unfortunately. What's that unfortunately you tacked on at the end supposed to mean, edgy poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. Of all the people, I thought it was going to be somebody we knew, like Meekins, but I didn't think it was going to be like that.
I didn't.
Just because it was the same intro, because like the Blue Badger was, dancing, and then it was Meekins. Came to the stage to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Wait, why aren't I pressing her?
Hold it!
It's You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger? You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell of sweat, your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work. That's the kind of story that would scar a child for life, you know. Well, that's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids. So what did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting? Oh, yes, that. Well.
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me? They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that. But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful. Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous. It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two were just foals compared to a stallion like you.
So funny.
I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them.
Hold it!
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place. Absolutely, that gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help. Two men, one bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony. Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we? Well, it was somewhat useful. Her testimony also presents us with a new problem. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So, about this new problem, what is that giant grin on your face for? Do you want me to show you something really nice? No, thank you. Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're going to like. What is that gadget you're holding? What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief. Ah, I should have known it would be worthless. Aw, don't be like that. Tee-hee-hum. Oh, what do you think now? What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air. I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take one wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. What? What is this? This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I inputted into Little Thief. Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far. Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see. Miss Oldbag said that the two men were facing each other, and then a gunshot rang out, and the victim fell to the ground. Ah, so with this, we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. See? So what do you think? I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. Well, it is the super-secret weapon of the mighty Yetagarasu. Indeed. Oh, but if there isn't enough information, or if something is out of place, the recreation can come out a little strange. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony. You got it! You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth. Right now, this simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification. Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got a little thief with me, so you just let me know, okay? Okay, we can investigate that. I respond to this, because now they're saying it's a cat 3 on the thing.
That's what made me just understand.
Yeah.
And where's the blood?
Yeah, you'd think there would be.
Is there blood back there?
It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Okay, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer? Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief. He has a point. According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here. That's right, but... Well, if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction. Huh? What? Where?
Okay, what?
This is the real scene of the crime. There's something missing that should be here. Blood? Yeah. Indicate loss of blood.
Take that!
This is the contradiction. Is something wrong with my recreation? If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one? Oh, I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right? Right, the fact that there is no blood here casts down the witness's testimony. Edgy Poo, how could you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. Maybe there's another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. It looks like they broke the stage down. I guess this means they're done for the day. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. This is amazing, just feel the power of science. What is this, some sort of new attraction? Well, maybe we can show her the picture to see if he recognizes the guy.
Oh, maybe.
Go on, Edgepoo, show me anything. I'll tell you all about it. Very well, what do you think about this? It's nothing special. Somehow I figured she'd say as much. Let's see.
The stage was packed up. So it was on the stage.
Ah!
What? That was a good guess, though.
I think it was. I mean, I don't know if any of these are actually related to each other. It's just, what else do we have to investigate exactly? So was the victim in a costume? But she didn't see them in a costume. Because then the blood would be in the costume, right? Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? I think we can reasonably assume there's a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes, then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume. You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints, but the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around.
No, because we can have Emma.
Indeed. Hey, Emma, we need your help. Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints. Ah, finally my expert knowledge in forensics is needed. Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints? Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything. If you can analyze the footprints in this area... Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something. Look right here. I don't see anything. Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth. These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume. Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest. Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we find, too. Investigation complete. Okay, that was... I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be close, but now something else has caught my attention. What do you want? Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please. Yeah, but she said there's two men, but how could she know that that was a man?
Objection!
Two men? How did you know the gender of the two people involved, seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time? Ah! Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. Whoa! I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all. But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the second tier. Second tier? Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, you know, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense. Ah, I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense. The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap. I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up. Are you able to even see the victim's costume from way up there? Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know. Not like when I was young, people used to, good man, 100 paces away. Of course, they also noticed me in the flash, but I'm not that easy. I'm a careful girl, about. Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? You got it. This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. The silhouettes can change depending on the information I put. But Little Thief can recreate more than just people. So investigate away. We may even find more info with which to make a more accurate sim. Alright, sounds like a plan. Thanks to you, I'm able to proceed with my investigation once again. Thank you. It was nothing. I'm just glad that science and I could be of service. Pretty amazing how we could see the footprints. So what's the secret behind that thing? Oh, you want to know? Here, you can read the manual. Aha, very interesting. So if I do this, I can avoid leaving footprints. She can't seriously be trying to use the information to her advantage as a thief. Wait. If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down. Do you want me to input that bit of info into Little Thief? Yes, if you please. Okay. No, it would have to be from up top. There is clearly a contradiction here. Please stop stealing my lines. Oh, come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me. I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a real special a very real stage set up in that spot at the time. Jeez, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything? Yes, well, in any case, we need to resolve this unusual situation. Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Right, Wendy Oldbag? Mr. Oh yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage. See? Now let me update the info in the simulation. Well, well, what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us. Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Crime scene like that. Little Thief is... You two, sir. I saw something about Troop Mario over there.
It's Governors, too. See the logo?
Yeah. And there you have it. You see, big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation. So what, do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer? Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed. I think I know what the contradiction is. How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime? He's the most likely suspect we've got, especially given the situation with his gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. You see? Thank you for understanding, my little crow girl. I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend. Unfortunately, your conclusion is yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. One sec. So, I'm pretty sure it went through his abdomen first. Entry point, lower right abdomen, exit point, right shoulder. Yeah, so he was... The victim was up high. I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly after all. What's that supposed to mean? You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Ah, why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body specifically where the gunshot wounds were located. Actually, I didn't get that good of a look. Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. That's more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim. Grr. Then, yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above. Clear contradiction. You're discounting your own conclusions? No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. So, this was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. The killer's and victim's location. Right? Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong. Ah, I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. If this is what happened, it also explained the positioning of the gunshot wounds. But then what about the footprints? Since footprints don't lie, we can assume that the killer also wore a costume. Okay, I'll try using that data instead. But if we say he's in a costume, wouldn't that also help implicate, Akins?
Like both in costumes?
Yeah, judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. Dude, shouldn't you be, like, building a case instead of expecting me to do what Phoenix Wright always does? I asked you to take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badger-mobile. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the blue Badger-mobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area.
How do we know that each Badger doesn't have a mobile? She's got a pink one.
Yeah.
The other Badger has a blue one. What about the Bad Badger and the Proto Badger?
Yeah. Jeez. You believe he moved the body with the car. That's right, it was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it. The 3 tired tread marks are very telling. However, is the blue Badger-mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? Heck no. There's something right behind us that could do that.
Hold it!
The tire marks? The ones there behind the stage. They were hidden up until now by the various pieces of stage equipment. As for when they were made, they must have been made after the rain had begun to fall, correct? Yes, and probably around the same time as when the killer's footprints were made. The tires on that blue Badger-mobile probably got pretty muddy because of that. I'd say it's the blue Badger-mobile because, well, that's pretty obvious too.
Hold it!
3 tire marks. I have to agree that the blue Badger-mobile has 3 tires. Of course, the only thing in this park that could make those marks is that roving shop. Are you forgetting that there are in fact 3 of them? You can't simply ignore the pink and the Proto Badger-mobiles, Agent Lang. Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of the other 2, but I see no reason to drag them into this just to complicate things.
Hold it!
Of course, you have some sort of proof that it was all a lie, correct? Of course not. Well, that was blunt. But suppose it is a lie. It would explain a lot of things. Like his movements and his whereabouts.
Hold it!
So you still claim the tire marks belong to the blue Badger-mobile. It must have arrived on the scene after the ground had become wet with rain. Officer Meekins committed the murder.
Hold it!
Besides the blue Badger-mobile, there are other ways the body could have been made. Recall what the Wild Wild West area looked like. only the blue Badgermobile and Mr. Deacon's body were in the garage, I'd say that's proof. I suppose if one were to look at that place, that would be the only logical conclusion. However, my experience tells me that the truth is usually not so easily found. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement with regard to that scene? Looks like the only thing that car was selling was death, not dreams. Only what Agent Lang believes turns out to be true. The 3 tired tread marks are very telling, however. Is the blue Batmobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? So let's see. So I wonder if that head...
Yeah, because the head was... that belonged to somebody's costume.
Yeah.
So, no.
I wonder if the victim or the murderer was wearing that.
So we know it wasn't the pink badger because maybe old Bad is there with her head.
Right.
We know it's not Meekins because he's there with his head.
Right.
So the killer or the victim had to be where Edgeworth was head.
Yeah. And didn't Kay say that she heard 2 people talking?
Yep.
So, read this again. I mean, we haven't checked. Are we supposed to find something else that...
Hold it!
So let me press him on this again, so...
Not the back!
His statement is... Besides, he used the car to move the body to the garage, the Wild Wild West area. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement with regard to that scene?
How did he get the body out of his back room?
I mean, I assume you just go to the back and pick it up, but what I mean, that would be harder, though, so I get what you're saying. But I still don't see why, like, okay, if you killed somebody and there's blood in the car, you wouldn't leave the car there, so
Right.
I feel like...
Maybe he's not in the costume anymore.
Yeah. So I feel like there is a problem,
So
it's
they
just...
have to take him somewhere else, too.
And here we even
Hold it!
mentioned that other cars...
Objection! Not the back!
So apparently Wendy had the only pink badger one. Then there were 3 other legitimate ones, and 3 others that were taken by kidnappers. One of whom was apparently Colin Devorier, aka Mr. Deacon.
So wait, what was the number again?
So, see how one of the pink badger things are still there?
Yeah.
So, Wendy has the other. And then that means 3 of those were by people who were just wearing it legitimately, and 3 of those were taken by kidnappers. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything we're doing now with the testimony, but just saying. Name Colin Devorier's engraved here. I really admire people who carve their own names into a pendant. Oh, and why would that be? You have no imagination, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you ever think that maybe people want to have their loved ones always nearby? It's not as if I have a wedding band. I have no interest in accessorizing. I suppose. Anyway, you know what? More than wearing flashy accessories, I'd rather be engraving my name into every treasure I can find all around the world. A sign of affection is one thing, blatant vandalizing is just a little bit different. Oops. It's the victim something. What, did you find an important piece of evidence? This is made of platinum silver. That makes this thing super valuable. I've seen this type of jewelry at a lot of stores before, so I know it when I see it. Hey, if you ever laid so much as a finger on those pieces of jewelry... What, me? I'd never do something like that. Is it possible that she had never wanted to steal from a jewelry store before? The 3 tired tread marks are very telling. However, is the blue badger wheel the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? I mean, I still think that it's just as simple as you can't discount the other things, so I'm gonna...
Objection!
Nope.
Knock him back!
What does he say? Lang's eye says, confidence is like a soul, and words without confidence are but empty shells. You shouldn't waste your breath on words you have no confidence in, Mr. Prosecutor, although it's just as bad to say something in full confidence and be wrong. I was just gonna say, because there are other things missing, I just feel like you can't discount it unless we have found blood in the Blue Badgermobile. Just in case I start making a billion mistakes. Is this thumping you as much as it is me?
I don't know what we're missing. I'm a little sleepy, but I still feel like something must be glaringly obvious, and we're not getting it.
Yeah, like...
Did you already present the little head by itself?
No.
Face?
And actually, this is what I wanted to show him, so maybe this is what I was supposed to present? Yes. Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale. And why is that? Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekin's blue Badgermobile. One look at the car would have told you so. There's no dirt.
In the mud.
Yeah, no nothing, no tracks. Take a good look at those tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. Ugh. If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on those tires stand out as very peculiar indeed. Then how do you explain the tire tracks, genius? Hey, I've got it. What about Miss Oldback's pink Badgermobile? Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second-tier seats. Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, she had one more roving store, as I recall. Oh, you mean the Proto-Badger? That's the one that snuck up on us. That's right, there was one more parking space inside that garage. And it proves the existence of a Proto-Badgermobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto-Badgermobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it. Hey, did you hear something? Help?
Is that Lance?
Oh god, I think it is. Help me. Are you alright? Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time? Wild West with kidnappers. It was in the room next to the one I was being held in. Ran away using underground and got lost. Kidnappers. What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say. Kidnappers escaped wearing costumes. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was a woman. A woman? Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. I'll let you guys have what the kid said just now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you going to get out of my crime scene, or am I going to have to get rough? Again? You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Oh, no, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easy. Don't count on me to testify because I won't, not for you. That's right, I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper? Hey, calm down, there's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not going to rough either of you up, I give you my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate? Fair maidens? Ah, you little rascal, you sure know the way into a woman's heart. Lang's eye says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever. Trying to outdo my etchy poo with your fancy schmancy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement. Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be. Mr. Edgeworth?
Are we gonna help that guy?
Nope, we're gonna leave him on the ground.
It's a good stopping point.
It is a good stopping point.
That's the thing. Who's the baby cat? Baby kitty?
Okay, so, I mean, honestly, I automatically think the girlfriend has something to do with the kidnapping.
I'm wondering, too. She had an injury as well.
Yeah, so, like, I'm pretty used to Ace Attorney. They'll give those kind of clues if you see them. You know, here's an injury there, here's a mark here. So, something
Wouldn't he know
happened.
his own girlfriend?
You would think, yeah.
He just said one was a woman.
And who's the other guy, then, is the question, because we don't know. Because it seems to me that, you know, this Wolfman guy, he's probably going to be in this game a while. So I don't think he's a kidnapper. So I do wonder. Yeah, he thinks he's going to be an antagonist for us. Okay, well, we'll figure it out next time.